Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to everyone. This is Rafan Rahman coming to you from the 24 Future News YouTube channel and the Rafan Rahman Facebook page. If you're watching or listening, drop a comment to let me know. Dear viewers, we've got some major breaking news lined up for you today. Finally, the occupying country has been devastated by Iran's Sejil missile. Iran has completely obliterated 5 critical locations in the occupying country, not just at night, but even in broad daylight. Iran has launched relentless attacks. Iran now claims it has destroyed not 4, but 5 U.S. F-35 fighter jets. Meanwhile, Trump has reportedly authorized the U.S. military to strike Iran, just waiting for the final go-ahead. On top of that, are Ukraine, Russia, and North Korea now stepping into the conflict to back Iran? What did Vladimir Putin and North Korea's president say? Dear viewers, we're here to deliver the freshest updates this afternoon. Let's dive into the headlines I mentioned earlier. First up, I want to start with Vladimir Putin's statement. Today, he spoke to journalists for the first time since the fighting between Iran and the occupying country intensified. He fielded a ton of questions, mostly about Iran. He answered some directly while staying tight-lipped on others, likely for strategic reasons. When asked if Iran, which was attacked first, lacks a modern air defense system, Putin said Russia offered Iran advanced air defense systems multiple times, but Iran wasn't keen on buying them. Instead, they've been more focused on developing their own air defense tech. When pressed on whether Russia would stand by Iran, Putin noted that Iran was a loyal ally during the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia will do its best to return the favor and support Iran. On the question of whether Iran is building nuclear weapons, Putin clarified that Iran is working on a peaceful nuclear program for things like power plants and fuel, not nuclear bombs. He was crystal clear that Iran isn't making nuclear weapons, but rather focusing on nuclear power. Russia's helping Iran with this, and about 200 Russian specialists are currently in Iran working on these nuclear projects. In a sharp warning aimed at the occupying country, Putin said Russia won't tolerate attacks on its specialists in Iran. This is a direct or indirect jab at the occupiers, considering 200 Russian workers are at those power plants. It's a clear message: don't mess with them. Putin also said he's been in regular contact with Donald Trump and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, keeping them in the loop on Russia's position. Now, will Israel have the guts to attack the power plants where Russian experts are working? That's the big question. On the other hand, North Korea's president has called the occupying country's actions against Iran straight-up terrorism. He accused them of trying to spark wars across the globe. From Lebanon to Gaza, Palestine, Syria, Yemen, and now Iran, he said the occupiers are attacking these countries and violating human rights in ways that can't be ignored. This is coming from the leader of a nuclear-armed nation. He openly backed Iran, saying if Iran asks for help, North Korea will stand by them. In other words, North Korea's president has publicly declared support for Iran. He went on to say the occupying country's actions, backed by the West, are turning the world into a war zone. Though supporting this, he argued, are enabling terrorism that needs to stop. Both North Korea and Iran face heavy U.S. sanctions, and now they're loudly backing each other. China's also chimed in, accusing the U.S. of stirring up conflict in the Middle East to cash in on big business. China flat out said the occupying country's moves have the U.S.'s covert support and approval, using the occupiers to destabilize the region. Moving on, Iran is claiming it took out 5 F-35 fighter jets and says it'll show proof soon. Some international media outlets say there's evidence backing Iran's claim. For example, the occupiers are using fewer F-35s in Iranian airspace, switching to F-16s or other jets. A few sources even say Iran captured 2 pilots from the downed F-35s, with others possibly killed, though Iran hasn't confirmed this yet. The F-35, America's 5th-generation fighter plane, is considered the world's top warplane. Israel's denying any F-35 losses, but why are they using them as much in Iranian territory? That's a new question popping up. What is the current situation in the Iran-Israel conflict? Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has just delivered a speech to the nation. Did he show any sign of surrender to the U.S. or Israel in that statement? How did the U.S. react to his words? What is Israel doing now? What is Turkey's position? And what plans are emerging from the Western world regarding Iran?
Let's explore this in this short update. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei made his speech just a few hours ago. He said that the Iranian nation is a nation of bravery. History proves they have never surrendered to any enemy. He declared that Iran is defending its existence, independence, and borders, and is announcing a battle against the enemy. In his statement, there was no concession to the U.S. Instead, he vowed to display Iran's full strength and defeat them. He also said that Israel declared war on Iran, but was ultimately defeated, and now they are trying to pull in the U.S. into the conflict. His every word is now being broadcast across the global media and going viral on social media. The courage he showed has shaken many Arab rulers. He emphasized again that Iran will not give even the slightest concession to the U.S. and will emerge victorious. Following his statement, the enemy forces launched heavy attacks targeting his residence and headquarters. His current condition is unknown. The assault on his home was a major escalation, violating all rules of war. The Western world is claiming their actions are justified. At the G7 summit, they labeled Iran a terrorist state. Yet, in recent years, who has committed acts of terror in Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, and now Iran? Over 600 Iranian civilians have been killed by the occupying forces. And following Hami's speech, large-scale airstrikes began inside Iran.
Iran has started to respond, downing numerous enemy drones and fighter jets. However, the sheer volume of attacks has overwhelmed Iran's air defense systems. Because this is no longer just a war between Iran and Israel. This is a battle between Iran and the entire Western world. Israel has already been defeated and is now trying to bring in Donald Trump's America, as well as Germany, France, and Britain. Tonight is a terrifying night. Ayatollah Khamenei's home has been attacked. His current condition is still unclear. After his speech, some signals seem to have been sent from Donald Trump to Netanyahu, indicating potential coordination for a larger attack. Trump has allegedly stated that he will dismantle Iran and reinstall Reza Shah Pahlavi's son, similar to how Sheikh Hasina was positioned in Bangladesh to implement foreign agendas. Now the West is trying to install their secular puppet in Iran. Iran is giving a strong counterattack. They are launching new Fatah missiles toward the occupying state. More ballistic missiles are also targeting enemy positions. After the attack on Khamenei's residence, Iran launched intense retaliatory strikes. Their enemy civilians are now unable to remain in shelters. Iranian counterstrikes are targeting their homes. Until now, Iran had avoided striking civilian areas. But now, as Iranian civilians are being targeted, Iran has warned that it will respond similarly if needed. However, Iran is still mainly targeting enemy military bases, intelligence units, air defense systems, and energy infrastructure, not civilians. Despite heavy civilian casualties within Iran, including women and children, Iran continues to avoid targeting civilians on the other side. Today, Iranian authorities arrested a major Mossad network inside the country. It appears Mossad agents have infiltrated every street, every alley in Iran, an alarming situation. The shocking part is that many of these agents are Muslim Iranians themselves, betraying their own nation. Who is winning this war? The occupiers are already losing. If you saw their actual condition, you'd understand what Iran has done to them. They are in total collapse. They are now begging the Western world for help. Posters with Trump's image have been displayed in the occupying state, declaring that while Netanyahu started this, Trump will finish it. That means they are trying to drag the entire Western power structure into the fight against Iran. Germany has said they will not allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons, so Germany, Britain, and France are entering the conflict. Meanwhile, Russia, Iran's supposed ally, has remained largely silent, offering only verbal protests. They are not showing any real support. China has reportedly sent some arms, but no major outlet has confirmed this. Pakistan's military leadership is meeting Trump in the U.S. Whether Pakistan will act remains unclear. Turkey's President Erdogan has stated that the Western unity against Iran shows the urgent need for Muslim unity. He emphasized that Turkish land will not be allowed for use against Iran. Turkish authorities are reportedly in regular contact with Iranian leadership and cooperating on various matters. When the occupying forces attempted to use Turkish soil or infiltrate through Mossad, Turkey stopped them. Yet some Bangladeshi media falsely claimed Israeli aircraft were seen in Turkish airspace. Completely untrue. Iran trusts Turkey and should avoid spreading misinformation. Likewise, no media should attempt to create division between these two Muslim nations. Iran, Turkey, and China now appear to be aligned. Russia remains questionable. Despite years of support from Iran in the Ukraine conflict, Russia is not standing with Iran now. President Putin seems focused on trade and maintaining good relations with Israel and the U.S. Despite being small, Israel holds enormous influence worldwide. Its networks reach deep into global power structures. The West wants to replace the Islamic Republic of Iran with a secular government like Ataturk's Turkey. The Islamic identity of Iran is unacceptable to them. Muslims worldwide must understand this and support Iran. The resistance shown by Iran must be appreciated. As Ayatollah Khamenei said, they have entered the battle with full strength and will continue fighting as long as they live. He reminded the U.S. of their defeats in Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Syria. He warned that, however powerful they may be, they will lose again in Iran.
Last night, Iran used its Segil missile to wreak havoc on the occupying country. Iran says they hit 5 key spots, leaving them in ruins. They claimed their missile strikes were precise, targeting the occupier's stock market, a military hospital, a science institute, their intelligence unit, and a command and control center. The stock market, a cornerstone of any country's economy, was reportedly reduced to rubble. The military hospital, packed with occupying soldiers, was also hit hard. Iran says it took out the occupier's intelligence unit, though the occupiers claim it was a hospital, possibly to play the victim card since hospitals are off limits under war rules. The occupier's prime minister hinted they might retaliate by targeting Iran's hospitals or schools. The Science Institute, established in 1952, was a hub for the occupier's tech and weapons development, including missiles and drones. Iran's strike allegedly set them back decades, some say 50 years, destroying critical research and equipment. This was reportedly in retaliation for the occupiers killing Iran's nuclear scientists. Iran's been clear, every strike is targeted revenge. The occupier's intelligence unit and command and control center were also hit, with Iran claiming heavy casualties. The occupiers, as usual, deny this, but Iran says more surprises are coming. According to the Jerusalem Post, an occupier outlet, Iran's latest attack was the most devastating yet, and the occupiers are struggling to cope. They're censoring news to hide the true scale of the damage. Iran claims over 600 occupiers were killed. The occupiers say only 24 or 30. The real number, per some reports, could be much higher, with many buried under collapsed buildings. The occupiers' military is allegedly blocking media from reporting the full truth. The Jerusalem Post also said the occupiers' people are terrified, spending sleepless nights in shelters as buildings crumble. They're starting to understand what Gaza's people have endured. Meanwhile, thousands are reportedly missing and many are fleeing the country, but the occupiers' leadership, including Netanyahu, is hiding this to avoid mass protests. After all, 80% of their people don't even want their current leader, yet he's talking about regime change in Iran. Isn't that laughable? A leader rejected by his own people wants to topple Iran's unified government under Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and install a puppet regime like in Jordan, Saudi Arabia, or the UAE, countries that bow to the US. Is that even possible? It's like Narendra Modi propping up Sheikh Hasina. Ridiculous, right? Iran's massive strikes have not only shaken the occupiers, but also rattled the US. America's now calculating its next move, prepping bunker buster bombs to target Iran's Fordo nuclear facility 100 kilometers from Tehran in a mountainous area. Their bombers are training for it. Meanwhile, Britain, Germany, and France reportedly held a secret meeting in Oman, possibly to negotiate with Iran behind Trump's back, though no countries confirmed this. At the same time, they're threatening Iran, saying they'll back Israel and won't let Iran build nuclear weapons. All sorts of conflicting reports are swirling. But will Iran back down? Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has made it clear. Iran has never bowed to anyone and never will. They'll fight to the last drop of blood. He's not scared, he's hitting back harder and issued a final warning. Any country helping the occupiers, whether Britain, Germany, France, or the US, will become Iran's target.
Iran's fighting at full throttle, promising more shocks for the occupiers. When Trump said Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was in their crosshairs, claiming they know his location and will take him out at the right time, and vowed to overthrow Iran's Islamic Republic to install a new ruler, Iran responded with a new level of intensity. After the occupiers targeted Khamenei's residence, Iran unleashed its advanced missiles, shaking the occupying country to its core. The occupiers may downplay it publicly, but inside they're reeling. Their people are in chaos, running for the borders, desperate to flee. Those who've escaped are posting on social media about thousands missing, but Netanyahu is keeping it hushed to avoid rebellion. The occupiers are doing everything to hide the truth. Who'll come out on top in this fight? We'll have to wait a few more days to see. Stay safe, everyone. Allah Hafiz.